You wake up, and before your feet touch the ground, your hand is already reaching for your phone. Just a quick check, a notification, a message, maybe a scroll through your feed. 5 minutes pass, then 10, and somehow, you don't even remember what you were about to do. This isn't laziness. This isn't a lack of discipline. Something else is happening. Because the internet doesn't just entertain you. It doesn't just inform you. It holds you. It pulls you back in again and again until hours disappear without a trace. And the strange part is, you can feel it happening. That quiet voice in your head saying, "Stop, put it down." But your fingers keep scrolling anyway. So what's really going on? Why does the internet feel almost impossible to quit? And more importantly, what is it quietly doing to your brain while you're not paying attention? Because once you see it, you won't be able to unsee it. This doesn't happen by chance. You didn't just wake up one day, unable to look away. There's a system behind it. A system designed to understand one thing better than anything else. Your attention. Every scroll. Every pause. Every video you watch just a second longer than the rest. It's all noticed, measured, studied, not by humans, but by algorithms that never sleep. They study you in a way no human ever could. What makes you pause? What piques your curiosity? What makes you feel something? And once they know it, they begin to relay it back to you, more accurately, more efficiently, until it seems like everything you see, created specifically for you. But this is where the discomfort begins. Because the more the system understands you, the harder it becomes to look away. Not because you're weak, but because you're up against something that is constantly improving, adapting, evolving, in real time. So when you feel this pull, this almost magnetic desire to keep scrolling, it's not an accident. It's not a coincidence. It's the system working exactly as intended. To understand why this feels impossible to stop, you have to understand what's happening inside your brain. Every time you see something new, something interesting, something unpredictable, your brain releases a small chemical reward, dopamine, not as pleasure, but as anticipation, a signal that says, something important might happen, keep going. And that's the key, because your brain doesn't just reward what you like. It rewards what it expects to like. So every scroll becomes a gamble. The next post might be boring, or it might be perfect, funny, shocking, emotional. Your brain doesn't know, but it wants to find out. And so you keep going. Just one more swipe, just one more video, just one more moment. But the internet was designed around this system. It never gives you certainty, only possibility. And possibility is more powerful than satisfaction, because satisfaction ends the loop, but possibility keeps it alive. So over time, you don't scroll because you're bored. You scroll because your brain is chasing something it believes is just one swipe away. And the longer you stay in that loop, the harder it becomes to step out of it. There's something even more disturbing than addiction. You don't even notice it happening. You sit down for a few minutes, and suddenly an hour is gone. Sometimes more, and you can't even explain where it went. It doesn't feel like time passed. It feels like it disappeared. This is because your attention is being broken into fragments. Small moments, tiny bursts of focus, each one pulling you slightly further away from awareness, until you're no longer tracking time at all. Only content, only motion, only the next thing. And the illusion is powerful, because you still feel like you're in control. You can stop anytime. That's what you tell yourself. But every time you try, there's always one more reason to stay. One more video, one more post, one more scroll. And slowly, the boundary between choice and impulse starts to blur. You don't decide to stay anymore. You just don't leave. And the most unsettling part? The system doesn't need to force you. It only needs to keep you slightly interested, because interest is enough. Interest is what replaces control. Until one day, you realize you didn't lose time. You gave it away, without noticing. At some point, you start noticing something strange. It's not just how much time you spend online. It's how often you reach for it without thinking. Before silence, before boredom, before even discomfort, you reach for it automatically, as if silence itself has become something you need to escape. And that's when the realization starts to form. Maybe you are not just using the internet anymore. Maybe you are reacting to it, conditioned by it, shaped by it in ways you never consciously agreed to. Because every platform you use was designed to remove friction, to remove pause, to remove the moment where you might stop and ask, do I actually want this right now? Instead, everything is immediate, instant, effortless. And over time, that changes you. Not loudly, not suddenly, but quietly, until waiting feels uncomfortable, until boredom feels unbearable, until silence feels wrong. And without noticing, you begin to depend on constant input just to feel normal. So the question is no longer, why is it so hard to stop? The question becomes, what changed in me that stopping feels unnatural now? If you step back far enough, the question starts to change. It's no longer just about screens, or apps, or algorithms. It becomes something deeper, something more uncomfortable. Because if your attention can be guided so easily, if your time can disappear without notice, if your impulses can be triggered without intention, then where does control actually sit? Inside you or outside you? And maybe the most difficult idea to accept is this. Nothing here is forcing you. There are no chains, no locks, no direct commands, only choices. But choices shaped so carefully that they don't feel like choices at all. And that is what makes it powerful. Not control through force, but control through design. So maybe the real illusion isn't the internet. Maybe the illusion is the feeling that you are outside of it, watching it, using it, separate from it. Because the longer you stay inside this system, the harder it becomes to remember what attention felt like. Before, it was something everyone was competing for. And now the question remains, if your attention is the most valuable thing you have, who or what is learning how to take it without you even noticing? And maybe none of this is accidental. Maybe the way you reach for your phone, the way you lose time, the way you keep scrolling even when you don't want to, isn't a weakness. It's a response. A response to something that understands you better than you understand yourself. Because the internet doesn't just show you content. It studies you. It adapts to you. It becomes better at holding your attention every single day you stay inside it. And the more time you spend in it, the more natural it starts to feel, until silence feels strange, until stillness feels uncomfortable, until you forget what it was like to not be reachable all the time. So ask yourself one last thing. If something can shape your attention without you noticing, how much of your choices are still truly yours? And now, there's nothing more to say, just this moment, this silence. Because in the end, you never just watched this, you were part of it. So the question isn't whether you can put your phone down. The question is, can you ever truly pick it up yourself?